this is so timely because I was saving something for the end of the webinar, and this could not have been just the best. Let me tell you guys a story, and I don't usually tell it this way, and there's parts of this story that I will probably never ever feel comfortable sharing publicly. I don't know that there's enough years between then and now to really get some distance from how humiliated I felt. Um, what Carla and Kelly just described, I got started in the business in December. I'm a December baby as far as this home business is concerned, because somebody ran an ad and said, we'll show you how to make $400 commissions. And I didn't have the money to get started. My mother-in-law had bought most of our Christmas gifts that year because she knew that Jessica and I were not in a position to buy gifts. Um, and here's the thing, guys. We know what the holidays are really about. We know it's about family. We know that the holidays are about spirituality. It's about celebrating life and celebrating what's important to you, the people that you love, the ideas, the concepts, the organizations that you love, your beliefs, whatever your particular spiritual belief may be. We know that that's really what the holidays are about. We also know that we live in a society where in order for you to have the time and the surplus that you really want to be able to support the people and the organizations and just to express love in a meaningful way, whether it's a check written to your favorite charity or church, or just getting that special boy or girl something that they really, really want that maybe you would say no to in a different month. Every one of us have had the experience of not having the time freedom or the money freedom to really experience the holidays the way we wanted to. And like I said, we know it's about spirituality and family, but we also know that if you don't have a certain amount of money coming in, that forces you to not also have time freedom, because now you have to work. And in a lot of cases, you have to choose to spend your time working and doing things with people that you'd really rather not be around. And that was where Jessica and I were. That last Christmas, that last winter, we didn't have any heat in the house. We lived in a little, if you guys know what concrete blocks are, cinder blocks. We lived in a really, really tiny little house out in the country in central North Carolina. And I remember that last winter, because I had not paid the heating bill the year before, they wouldn't come out and put any heating oil in the tank. And I remember literally me and Jessica lying in bed, neither one of us knowing that the other one was awake, and listening to the ice pile up on the tree branches above our house, and listening to the branches pop, and it sounded like rifles going off. And laying there thinking, under 3 or 4 different quilts, and our kids all bundled up in quilts, and a kerosene heater, and laying there thinking, I wonder if a branch is going to fall through the top of our house and kill somebody. And then literally getting up morning after morning at 6 a.m. to turn the oven on broil and leave the oven door open. That was to try to heat the kitchen enough so that when the kids came in to eat their cereal, they wouldn't be just totally uncomfortable. I found a Coleman lantern, a camping lantern. You guys have seen those? It's just you got a little propane tank, and you screw this thing on top of it, and I would put that in the bathroom and light it and close the door so that the bathroom would get at least warm enough to where we could take showers, And here's the thing. Everybody around me said I was nuts to even think about it. Tony, you don't need a business. You need a job. You need to go get a job is what you need to do. Why in the world are you looking at home businesses? And it was not reasonable. It was not rational. It's not logical for somebody in the situation that I was in to look at a business. But I heard Sylvester Stallone talk about this years later about his own situation, and he said the only reason he didn't go get a job was because he knew that if he ever got into the situation where he had that safety net, he would never escape. He would never again allow himself, like he was afraid he wouldn't have the courage to really go for it if he took the pressure off and he just ran to a job just for the comfort zone. And I guess I had a little bit of that in me. And so suddenly I find myself in the month of December, somebody said, hey, look, I'm going to send you an audio. You got to listen to this guy. And I said, okay, well, I'll listen to it. And I went to this conference call, and I got started in a business. And within, I'd love to tell you that December was radically different, but Jessica's mom bought all the presents that year and called us from Alabama on a speakerphone to listen to the kids open the presents. And it was a couple months after that before I really got any traction in my business. But the point was I wouldn't have been in the business at all if somebody in December hadn't been a stand for me. Somebody said, hey, look, I think you can do this, and I think you should do it. What if they hadn't have done that? You know, like what if they had said, nobody's going to join a business in December, especially somebody who's broke and can't afford heat in their house. And you know, my life's never been the same. My life has never been the same. But I think about it very often. Probably not a week goes by that I don't at least stop and think, what if things had been different? What if I had not been in the right place at the right time? I totally co-sign everything that Kelly and Carla have said there at the end, as well as the perspectives you heard earlier in the call. But the fact of the matter is, what we do matters. What we do, we are bringing home parents from jobs. We're giving kids their parents back. We're giving husbands their wives back. Wives are bringing their husbands home from work. There's people who, they should have quit working years ago, but they're at a retiree age, and now they're able to do something different. They're able to actually enjoy their golden years instead of being the guy down at Walmart handing out shopping carts. What we do matters. It's not just about making a ton of money, you know, or getting the email notifications that, oh, look, I've made, you know, another $250 on a PPA sale. Those are nice. I mean, we'll all be candid and say we all came here for the money. Every one of us came here because this was an opportunity to make a lot of money. But it's not what the money, it's really what the money will do. It's the fact that the money allows you to actually own your life and change your life. And so don't miss how Doobly and WUCAR fit into the ideal situation for a lot of families this time of year. It's quite a gift that we're able to give people. The opportunity and all the space in the world for them to come here, stretch their wings as wide as they want to, and be off and running and absolutely transform their life from what it is to what they want it to be. It's a pretty amazing thing that we get to do. You know, guys, I'm complete. Anybody else want to jump out real quickly with a closing comment before we wrap up?
Tony, I'm not usually a fan of following a really powerful story like that, but until you mentioned it, I don't think I realized I started in December.
Did you really?
I did, in this industry, and we've talked about the December idea, well, for, what is it, the 11th or so, I don't even know, for that many days now, and I never thought about it until you said you were a December baby. I got started in December, and then I thought about why, and some very similar story. I won't go into all the detail, but maybe some other time I'll tell my story, and I realized that is happening. This is that time of year when people realize what they did not pull off the rest of the year, and it's all coming to the place where they're going to be outed. Their family's going to realize what they did or didn't do, and this is that time where they go, next year is going to be different. It doesn't happen in January. It happens in December because of the holidays. That was big. Thanks for that.
Right on, man.
Tony, I need to tell you something. I have a confession as well, and you cannot script this stuff, right? I cannot script this stuff. It was about 5 years ago, dead flat broke, up to my eyeballs in debt. In fact, my goal was to get back to zero again. I'd had my Christmas dinner. I was patting and rubbing my little fat belly, which is full of turkey and all that good stuff. Pretty bored. Thought I'd get on the internet. Started searching for that, that holy grail of online business, somebody who would actually help me. And I bumped into the guy who's now my business partner and has been my mentor for quite a few years, Lawrence. And that happened on Christmas Day about, I think, 5 years ago, I think. And you cannot script this stuff, right? So as soon as Jono said, I'm absolutely serious. And it just got me thinking that what do people do after they've, there's this flurry of activity up until Christmas Day. You eat your turkey, and what do you do after that? Normally in Australia, you sit down and watch the footy and have a beer or something. And me, I got on the internet because I had no money to get through the new year, and I was still searching for that gold nugget in this pile of dirt. And I found it on Christmas Day. I think it was about 4 years ago. And I cannot even tell you the transformation that my finances have gone through. I went from financial obscurity, to financial prosperity in that 4-year period. That was a Christmas Day. And so, I guess the moral of the story is, if you want to sponsor someone like John O'Case or Tony Rush, guys, you better be on your game over the next few weeks. And they're out there, those gold nuggets. And if they come looking, you want them to look in your direction. So, sorry, I just had to get my 10 cents worth in. I was just shaking my head. I just could not believe the coincidence there.
That is amazing. Well, thank you for jumping back out, because we could not have planned or predicted. I had no idea, guys. We had no previous conversation about that, so that's actually interesting. And sometimes things happen for a reason. I told all these guys, hey, by the way, the topic tonight is making it a December to remember, and I asked the right people to be here tonight. That's excellent. That's fantastic. Guys, listen.
Can I just say one final thing?
Oh, please do. Come on out.
I just want to say, because there are people sitting there, and you're wondering, can I really do this? And we can say some incredible things. I just want to say this, that you're worth it. You weren't put on this planet to not be an influence for good for whoever you rub shoulders with, and so you're worth it. And everybody here is willing to help you recognize and see, and that's why we're willing to spend time and do this, is to help you understand that you are worth it. And once you understand that you're worth it, guess what? You'll make December to remember. You'll make January a January to remember. And great things will happen in your life, and you'll overcome any obstacle that is thrown in your path. And so with that said, thanks, Tony, for allowing me to be on here with some awesome people, and I appreciate it.
Right on.